guys, Mona. Today I'm making an accordion wallet. The pattern's by Spencer Ogg. It's a purchase pattern, and this is what it looks like. Right now I'm just going to put on the snap according to the pattern instructions. Now I need a seam ripper. I've marked where I need to. I'm just poking a hole for this to go to. The metal thing, metal washer thing. I'll make sure that's alright. Now I'm going to put it through the front. To the back. Okay, it's through. I like to put a heavier piece there to keep it from ripping through. Waterproof canvas, anything you want. You can even use another piece of interfacing. And I'm gonna do the same here. Put some holes in. Okay, now put this over top. And this side. And that'll help keep that from pulling. Then you put your washer on. And I use a metal ruler and just press it down. And that's just to protect my hands. So that's what I do, but you can put interfacing over top of it. All right, that's done. That's done. That's the lining. All right, now we're going to do the credit card slots, of which I am putting 2. So I take and put the pattern piece on top. And this is how I do it. The pattern has you cut slits. I don't do it that way. And then I just fold back and forth. And line it up the way the pattern has it. Line everything up. D, and then E goes back again. So then I just slide this out. And then I give it a good press to really get those in there. And then I'll repeat it on this side. On this. Looks like I didn't iron that side very good. Alright, you gotta make sure you keep them even, because I've had some that go a little wonky. There's one. And there's the other. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to top stitch these lines, but I'm not going to go through all through the layers. I'm only going to top stitch each one, so you'll have to unfold it to do it. Okay, now I'm going to stitch down and top stitch. Oops, it's caught on something. Like an old piece of thread. Trim this off. Okay, now I'm just going to bend that back out of the way, and now I'm going to top stitch this one. Okay, now I got to do this one. Okay, and there it is, top stitch. Now I have to do the same thing to the other one. All right, this needs to measure a certain size. Alright, now we are going to iron that where we folded it. And fold this in the same. So that they match. Okay, I folded in the bottoms under according to the pattern's instructions. Now I'm just going to baste down both sides, keeping everything lined up. I'm just basting along the sides of that, keeping everything even. Lines down this side and this side. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. So we're going to stitch down this side without getting everything. You can pin these together to keep them from shifting. I got a good grip on them. The last time I made the mistake of switching it this way and they got out, so I'm keeping them going the same way this time. Yep, they're lined up. Right there. And I'm going to keep it even Steven. Alright, the sides are basted. Clean up some threads so they don't get... Alright. So let's do this. I'll show you how the right one looks. Where's the other piece? Oh, in my lap. So this is going this way here. Right sides together. So the right pretty side up and the card slot area down. I need to make sure it's straight here. Looks straight to me. Get you over a little bit. Okay, so I did it, and then we're going to flip this back and we're going to top stitch. But I'm going to give it a good press so it lays nice and straight. This one I sewed on backwards, see? So I will seam rip that and redo it. Okay, so here's your card slots. We're going to lay this up this way. We're going to flip our card slot over and put this in the middle. And then we are going to stitch down the side. Okay, now we're going to flip this up and put this right in the middle so you have the same folding out at each side, and I'm going to go right over the holes because I had to seam rip this one. Okay. Now I'm going to flip these back like this. I'm going to press it. You're going to fold this, iron it, and then you're going to fold this to meet there, iron it. Measured according to the pattern, and I'm going to set this right on that line, and I'm going to top stitch across the line, making sure everything's even and all that jazz. Making sure the bottom is closed. The last time I did all this ahead of time. Okay, now I've stitched the bottom on. Now I'm going to top stitch and go. Do it this way, right across the top. Make sure this is even. Okay, and I am going to do a second top stitch there since I jumped the gun and did it over here. So actually I'm just going to go right over top of that. Now I'm going to do this one. I'm going to start down here and go across and over. This is what you're supposed to do according to the pattern. turn again and go down this side. I top stitched then when you weren't supposed to. I don't think it really matters, so. Alright. And there's my lining with the card slots in there. I just have to do my threads. There's room for a big pocket here, and then 1, 2. So let me clean up my threads. I have to do the same thing with the other card slot. We need to line it up here. These go under the same way, but we need to leave a space in between. So then we're going to stitch across here and then do the same as the other. And this is going to go right on that line. And this has got to be in there. Alright, we're going to line this up with the pin. I don't know what I did with the pin on the side. Oh, it's bent. We're going to use it anyways. Maybe not. No, that pin, I can't put it in the garbage. I don't want the cat to get it, so let me see if I can do it this way. Alright, now I'm going to do the same thing here to line that up, because I want the top edge even with that mark. Alright, now that that's lined up, I can line it up again after I do this one. This off, and I gotta make sure this is straight there. Oh, this doesn't look straight. There we go. Right, now I'm gonna turn this one and get it straight and straight. Now we need it straight, not bent. Alright. Get you in. Yeah, it was easier the way I did it last time. Alright, now we're going to just sew up the side. And now we're going to go straight across, but not all the way, and we're going to stop there. And bring it back down the other side. Okay, now we got to do the same thing over here. Okay, and this is what we have so far. We've got a set of card slots here and card slots here. I need to get my zipper tab ready. I'm just going to fold this in half and then fold in the center. Now, I don't remember what size zipper I'm supposed to have, but this one's bigger than my pocket. That's fine. But I am going to cut off that metal piece right here because I do not want to hit that with my machine because, ooh, what a mess. So I cut right in front of it. And even though we're going to put if I bring more napkins over here, a zipper tab on it, I like to burn and melt the ends to keep it from fraying. So now I'm going to put my zipper tab on, just like that, and I'm going to stitch across. Just line it up and stitch it across. And I usually put a little clip on it until I get moving here. So just line those up best you can. And I start sewing way out. It's just easier. And I still back stitch out there even though some of this is going to get cut off. And then make sure your zipper's straight. And then go slow, because every now and again one of these will break. Not too often, but. Alright, there's your zipper tab. It's done. There's your zipper tab, all completed. Now we have to prep the other side of the zipper. Going to cut it right in front of those metal things. The metal stoppers. All right, and now I'm going to burn these edges. Burn it across, burn it across. Okay. Get those off my computer. I don't know if the metal will do anything or not. I'm not taking any chances. Okay, the whole entire zipper is supposed to be a certain amount, so I'm going to measure that. So I need a pencil, because this is where I'm going to fold back my zipper. So see, there's a mark there and a mark there, so I'm going to open it up. Now I'm just going to take that line and fold it up like that. So I got it bent over, so that's even. Now I'm going to clip it from this side. Get it underneath there. And you can pin it. I just hold on to it, get it close, put down the presser foot, and then keep it, make sure you keep it up in there. And you're just basically just basting that on there. Yeah, we want that. Push it up. And then we're going to sew it just like that. Down that side. Right on that edge. Zipper's all prepped. Just got to cut off some stray threads so they don't get all tangled in there, and it's just basted just to keep it like that. And when you zip it up, it should be even. It is. We are going to put our zipper right sides together with the coin purse. Oops, I forgot to cut off the edges of our zipper tab. You just cut them even with your zipper. There we go. All right, now we're going to lay this down, and what we're lining up is that top edge. And I like to use clips. You can use double-sided tape if you want. Whatever makes your life easier, go for it. But we need to keep room on this edge, or else you won't be able to sew your bag. Sew your pocket. Duh. All right. So it's just like that. Now I'm going to stitch right across there. And I back stitch on this too. And just line it up with the edge. And I go right along the edge, especially on these number 3 zippers, because, you know. Alright, I'm getting close. Now I need to pull this zipper out of my way, or else it's going to make everything go wonky. And back stitch. And this is what the first step of the coin purse looks like. Alright, let's line her up. Get it there. Now it's getting caught on that zipper, so let's just start up on the zipper. Alright, that zipper pull is in the way, so I'm going to have to move it. I usually move it first, but I didn't, so now I'm just going to sew along that zipper and move my zipper again out of the way. Now it should be completely out of the way. And we're just sewing just past that line where we sewed before the zipper. You can use a zipper foot. My foot's kind of small, so I don't need one. This is what we have so far. Both pieces, right sides together, sewn on one side of the zipper. We're going to press this back away, but I like to cut that piece off there. There we go. After it's sewed. And you can melt that piece. Just don't get your cotton. It will catch fire. Ask me how I know. So now I'm going to press these back away. And then we are going to top stitch right across there. But I'm going to open this zipper up so it's not in my way till later. Alright, I got to start closer to that zipper because alright, now I got to move my zip out of the way. And this is what you have so far. There's the front and there's the back. This is where it gets a little tricky. You're going to take your front pocket piece here and you're going to line it up with your zipper, keeping the sides and everything even. And you're going to stitch across there. This is tricky here. Getting that little zippy out of the way. Alright, now line everything back up. Back stitch and go. Okay, we're just going to trim off our threads. What you have so far. There's the back. That's what we just did, and here's the other side. We're going to take the back piece here and flip it up, clip, and then we're going to sew across there again. need to carefully get that zipper out of my way. And it's a tricky one because you really got to stick your hand in there and maneuver it. And then try and fold everything. Make sure everything that you're sewing forward is lined up. Okay. And this is what you have now. This is on this side, this is on this side. And it looks like a little, I don't know what it looks like, but that's what it looks like on the side. Now you got to make sure your zipper's opened all the way up. Through the zipper. Be very careful because it's, you know, a lightweight number 3 zipper. There is my little coin purse. Now I just need to stitch down this side and this side. Baste it on, you know, baste it shut. Now it's all stitched together. And it opens to the left. Now I'm just going to trim off my threads because we don't need it yet. Don't need that. Okay, now we do need that. Make sure that's shut, yes. All right, those are the gussets. That's the outside, this is the inside. And now we are going to press this up according to the pattern instructions. Thing with this one. Fine. So, that's what we'll do, right up on that line. That's the way it should be, right there. Just like that. Alright, and that one's done. So, I believe we're going to put this on top, pin around, and stitch. Not going to sew in here. I'm just going to sew all the way around here. Starting on this side, right on that line I drew for the seam allowance. And I am going to back up, back stitch. And now we're going to turn. I like to back stitch at the corners, go a little bit over and back stitch to where I'm going to go, just for a little added security. And I'll do the same thing on this corner. As you can see the intersection. Okay, now come down the other side. And just be careful, sometimes the magnetic snaps will get caught on your presser foot. Don't panic, you just got to move it. This one is not in far enough. There we go. Oops, get under there, buddy. And back stitch. Alright. It right side out. Now I'm just poking out my corners gently. And the sides. Making sure everything, and then I'm going to give it another good press. Get it all pressed up. Now, we are just going to top stitch from here around to there. We're not going across just this section. So let me find where that starts, right there. So make sure everything's folded. Seams are rolled. No yellow showing. there, and boom. And back stitch. Oops, don't need to go that far. Now we just need to go right to there. And back stitch. Now we need to put our snap on here. All right, there's that. Now I have to fold this up and stitch across the bottom, but I sewed across the bottom here after I put my snap in. I just sewed right across the bottom. Take all of our gussets, the short edges, and we need to fold these up the bottom and iron them. What we need to do, now that that's done, we need to take them like this, put them together, and stitch down the sides of them. Oh, I don't think that one's done enough then. Maybe started with the other side. Okay, now I have to turn on, or now I have to fold them flat, open up the seams, and press. Just like that, right in the middle. So let's do that. Okay, last one. Okay. Now I'm just going to clip these apart. Clip any stray threads while I'm there. Okay, now we're going to turn these all right side out. Now we're going to stitch the bottoms of them. Now we're just going to go right along the edge and just follow that. And keep going. All right, that's done. Okay, this is how I lined them up. The gussets fold, the narrow edges come here, and the narrow edges are up here that fold in half. But we're only going to sew the one side. I'll show you on the main camera so you can see. This is the narrow edge here. There's your fold. Narrow edge up here. Now we are just going to stitch down both sides, but only one thing. We will do this in another step. Start up here, and I am going to back stitch. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing up here. Remove this. I'm going to back stitch after I go up one. Back stitch. Okay, now I'm just going to sew this right along the edge, and you're going to have to make sure it's lined up. And it's easier to sew it the other way, but these move. You really don't want to sew it the other way. You want to keep everything lined up. You can use a stiletto if you want to. I don't find the need. Just go slow and you'll be fine. Alright, now that's on. This is what we have so far. Everything snaps up nice. Now we have to put in our change purse and finish sewing the rest of the gussets. Alright, you're going to line up your gussets on the sides and you're going to stitch across there. Sew our gussets together right along the edge. Now, you're going to take your change purse, set it in there, move the zipper head out of the way, and you're going to stitch that in. Okay. So I put the coin purse right up in there, and I sewed it again into that stitch, into the side. Alright, so now I'm going to clean up my stitches, or my thread. And now I'm going to take these two, sew them together, just like I did the other side. And then I'll put the rest of the coin purse in and stitch along there. Okay, we just sewed up the other side of that gusset. Now we're going to take the other side of that zipper pocket. We're going to line it up right at the bottom edge, and we are going to sew that in. All right, so there you have that. I just sewed right along here with the coin purse in there. Right on there. Right next to that zipper tab without going through it. And if it gets too heavy and you can't go through it, you can always rivet it. Side is in there. It's all stitched in. And the other side is all stitched in. Now you're going to just shove that inside, the gusset inside there. So it needs ironed, but there it is. There's the wallet. It's got a snap closure. Inside, there's your wallet. There's your wallet. There's your wallet. Open it up, and there's your stuff. And then close it up. Thanks for watching.